Should we begin?
Yes. Plain and simple, we'd like President Bartlett to aggressively support legislation that would make it mandatory for every public school in America to teach geography using the Peters projection map instead of the traditional Mercator.
Give me $200 and it's done.
Really?
No. Why are we changing maps?
Because, CJ, the Mercator projection has fostered European imperialist attitudes for centuries and created an ethnic bias against the Third World.
Really?
The German cartographer, Mercator, originally designed this map in 1569 as a navigational tool for European sailors.
The map enlarges areas at the poles to create straight lines of constant bearing or geographic direction.
So it makes it easier to cross an ocean.
But
Yes.
it distorts the relative size of nations and continents.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes.
Oh yeah, that map is wrong. What's up, guys? StinkyCASH here. Today I want to talk about the maps. If you were like me and you went to public school, they had these chalkboard pull-down maps and every single one of them was wrong. If you tried to use this map to navigate your way around the world, you would never, ever, ever get where you were going, where you were intending to go. Ever. This map is terrible. All these rectangular maps are terrible. Now, if the Earth really is a ball, like they claim, then the best map we have, the best flat map or 2D projection of a globe we have, is the North Pole azimuthal equidistant map. This is the map that the UN uses as their logo. This is the map that the USGS uses. This is the map that air traffic controllers use. This is the best representation of the Earth we live on. Yet when we go to public school, they use all these terrible maps. They use this one. They use the Mercator projection, which has all the continents in the wrong place and the wrong size relative to each other. If you tried to use this map to navigate, you would never get to where you were going. Okay? In that scene from Law & Order, they showed you the Gauls-Peter projection. This is also wrong. You can't use this map to navigate. You will never get where you are going. The Robinson projection, you will never get where you are trying to go. Ever. See, I live on the Jersey Shore, and most people think that when you're standing on the beach in New Jersey and you're looking out at the horizon, if you were to swim in that direction, you would eventually reach Europe.
Holy shit! Is that the ocean?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. That's the ocean.
What's on the other side of it there?
Europe. Yeah.
Now, how long would it take?
Do not try and swim to Europe.
No.
Don't swim to Europe.
Do not.
Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, when you're standing on the beach in New Jersey looking straight out at the horizon, if you were getting a boat and start to sail in a straight line, and I'm not talking about in a constant direction using a compass, I'm saying in a straight line, you would end up in Brazil. You wouldn't come anywhere near Europe. And if you were to fly from the east coast of the United States to Europe, you're not going to go towards the horizon out over the ocean. You're going to travel north. You're going to cross over very close near the North Pole, and you're going to travel in a straight line from your starting point to your end point, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The furthest flight I've ever been to was a flight from Newark, New Jersey to Tel Aviv, Israel. And this is how the map on the little TV on the headrest in front of me showed the flight path on this Mercator projection, this awful map. This isn't the map the pilots are using, yet this is the map they show the passengers, and this is the flight path that they show the passengers, and they make it seem like, oh, this curve here, this is due to the curve of the Earth. This is bullshit. If you were to plot out this flight path from Newark to Israel on the flat Earth North Pole azimuthal equidistant map, it will be a straight line, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So if the best map we have is the North Pole azimuthal equidistant, then why the hell are they showing kids this map? Why are they using the Mercator projection? Why are they using the Gauls-Peters projection? These maps are bullshit. Look at what the UN uses as their logo. This is the true representation of your Earth. Now, some people say, oh, that's just to look at the globe from the top down. No, it's not. Because you wouldn't see this if you were looking at the top of the globe. That's not what it would look like. People say, oh, well, that's just the flattened out version of the globe. Yeah, well, if that's true, how come you don't use the South Pole equidistant map as the UN logo? Look at this map. Look at the South Pole azimuthal equidistant map. Does this look anything like anything you've ever seen before? Notice how on all the other maps, including the globe, all the continents look pretty much the same. And then look at what they look like on the South Pole azimuthal equidistant map. This is supposed to be a projection if you were looking at the South Pole from the bottom. And if the South Pole, Antarctica, was in the middle of the map, and the North Pole is the ring around the world. Look at these continents. Does this look like anything you've ever seen before? No, this map is retarded. You could never use this map to navigate. You can never use this map to do anything. You have to use the North Pole azimuthal equidistant map. Why? Because this is the true representation of our world. I can guarantee that any flight you've ever been on will be a straight line on this map. Connect your starting point to your destination, and on the azimuthal equidistant map, it will be a straight line. This isn't true for any other map. Why aren't they teaching kids the North Pole azimuthal equidistant map? Even if they're going to teach the kids that the Earth is a ball, why aren't they using this map? This is the best map we have. It makes everything easier to understand. I could teach a 10-year-old how the sun, the moon, and the stars appear to move using this map. I can't do that using any other map, and doing so wouldn't be fair. Using these other maps is bullshit. These maps are keeping kids dumbed down. So my message to all the globe heads, my challenge to them is, get the North Pole azimuthal equidistant United Nations logo map into schools. Get rid of these other bullshit projections. And guess what? You won't do it, because if you teach kids the azimuthal map, they're going to realize the truth. And that's why you continue to use these bullshit rectangular flat maps with the west on the left and the east on the right. You don't teach kids how it really works. You don't teach kids that east is counterclockwise and west is clockwise. You don't teach kids how compasses work. You don't teach kids anything useful. You told them they live on a ball. You told them that no matter what direction they go, including north and south, they'll just simply end up in the same place they started. You told them that all the land had already been discovered and that there's no point for doing any more exploring.
I like to be an explorer, like the great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
All the land's already been found. You lock them in a box. You have purposely dumbed down our children. It's time we get this map into schools.
What the hell is that?
It's where you've been living this whole time. Should we continue?
Uh-huh.